Today we're talking about dopamine and what happened during the second week of my dopamine detox as a type 1 diabetic. The dopamine blood sugar connection is key to blood sugar control. So if you struggle with your diabetes and your blood sugars, and you've tried everything and still can't get normal blood sugars, I totally hear you. And I've been there many times over the years. Diabetes is annoying. It's super frustrating, especially when you're trying your hardest to get good blood sugars and you can't. Understanding the link between quick dopamine hits, which I'll explain in a minute, and blood sugar control is, in my opinion, a total groundbreaking cheat code for blood sugar control. Now, I've lived with type 1 diabetes for 42 years. I've raised 2 type 1 kids and worked as a diabetes educator. Nobody's looking at this dopamine blood sugar connection. And in my opinion, they should be. As you will see in a few minutes, there is a definite connection between detoxing from things that spike dopamine and improving your blood sugar level. This is the second video in a 4-part series outlining my 4-week dopamine detox as a diabetic. The results so far have been interesting and shocking, with one unexpected outcome I will share at the end of this video. So let's get to it. I gave up 5 quick fix habits that spike dopamine and used 5 strategies or healthier habits as substitutes to survive this dopamine experiment that you can definitely use yourself to improve your blood sugars. Before we jump in, and if you've missed the first video in the series here, let me explain what the heck a dopamine detox is. And please, I don't want to waste your time, so skip over this using the chapters below if you've already watched the last video. And remember, I'm not a doctor. Trust me, you wouldn't want me being your doctor. I'm just sharing my experience as a fellow diabetic. So a dopamine detox is giving up those quick, easy, pleasurable things that provide you with instant satisfaction. Things like online gambling, binge watching Netflix, porn, junk food, alcohol, and coffee, to name a few. By detoxing or giving these things up, you essentially reset your brain, leaving more time and motivation for more satisfying, longer lasting, and productive things, or the simple pleasures in life, like watching a sunset. You tend to miss out on those simple pleasures when pursuing those quick mood boosters that are short-lived. With more balanced brain neurochemicals like dopamine, you get better overall moods, mental clarity, and energy levels, not to mention motivation to do the things that matter. So you're probably wondering, thinking, what does this have to do with diabetes and blood sugar? Well, dopamine affects cravings, motivation, and stress levels. It can directly and indirectly impact blood sugars. Cravings lead to overeating the wrong types of foods. Lack of motivation leads to poor health choices like watching hours of TV instead of going out for a walk or exercising. Stress causes the body to resist insulin and can lead to you having stubborn, hard to treat high blood sugar. All these can make your blood sugar impossible to control. So later in the video, I will show how this detox I'm doing after only 2 weeks can drastically improve your blood sugars. The second week of this detox was emotionally tough, but as you will see later in the video, it eventually led to improvement in mental clarity, energy levels, and mood. Well, after some struggles, which I'll share in a moment, and a surprising benefit that came as a shock to me. So I plan to give up 5 things for this dopamine detox. Social media scrolling, number 1, binge watching TV while eating, coffee, alcohol, and using my phone before I go to bed or before I go to sleep and when I get up. So to manage, I use these 5 substitutions. To fight the urge to scroll, I'd leave my phone behind and put it on airplane mode if I could. To stop binge watching TV, especially while eating, I ate at my kitchen table. There's a novel idea. And set a timer and a time limit for TV watching. To stop drinking too much coffee, I had a cold shower in the morning. There's a dopamine hit, and I'm still doing that. Decaf options and tea were also my substitution. To moderate and detox from alcohol, I stocked up on and tried some really delicious non-alcoholic beers and sparkly water. To stop using my phone in bed, I kept it out of reach on the other side of my bed, and I put it on silent mode, and I always had a book nearby. When the urge hit hard, and it did, I'd get up and walk or use my meditation app, which was a lifesaver. So let's dive into my blood sugars before the detox. My blood sugar average before I started this was 7.2, and time in range was 88%. At the end of week 1, my blood sugar average was 6.2, and my time in range went from 88% to 98% with absolutely no low blood sugar, which is pretty remarkable, and results you can get with your blood sugars giving up some of your impulsive addictive habits if you want to join me on this crazy journey. You will see week number 2's blood sugar results. So how do you feel about giving up those quick fix pleasurable habits? Please leave a comment below and let me know. Okay, before we get to the 3 things that saved me during this detox, What are my 4 biggest challenges so far? In my last video, I make a confession about slowly giving up coffee and alcohol and slipping up a couple times. I reduced coffee to 1 cup per day and significantly reduced my alcohol too. But before I reveal if I completely gave up coffee and alcohol, let me share major challenge number 1, insomnia. I could not sleep. This was unexpected. Well, I kind of expected it a little bit, but after 3 nights of basically no sleep or crappy sleep, it became really hard to refrain or not reach for those quick fix, make you feel good, insta habits that I'm trying to detox from. You know what I mean? Like, you crave those things that provide pleasure and comfort, especially when you feel tired, miserable, grumpy, and uncomfortable. I really struggle here. As you can imagine, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking to myself, come on, sleep already. You have to be up in like 3 hours. I felt burnt out, bored, deprived, and frustrated as it is. Now this? Really? I started doubting why I decided to do this damn detox thing. You're probably thinking, well, you kind of did it to yourself. I know, I hear you, and it's true. And I do plan on sticking to it because I want to share my results with you and others. So hopefully you can improve your blood sugars. But I managed the sleepless nights by reaching for my book, using my meditation app, and sometimes just getting out of bed, grabbing myself a cup of herbal tea. If you're joining me on this crazy adventure, try those things. Now, sleep is definitely getting better, but not 100%. But I'm only at the end of week 2. So you're probably thinking, what about the coffee addiction? Well, drum roll please. And challenge number 2, giving up coffee. This week, I completely gave it up. Do you believe that? I gave up coffee completely. And it sucked. I probably shouldn't swear, but it really sucked. It was brutal. The headache, it was horrible, especially the first couple days. But I expected that, and it was bad. But what I didn't expect, and it came as a shocker, was the brain fog. I couldn't think. I was unfocused. It was really hard for me to work. But the previous detox, I cut back to 1 cup per day. Thank goodness. But the worst was walking into the kitchen at work, smelling that freshly brewed pot of coffee. Picture it. I'm in a kitchen, smell the coffee being brewed, dripping, and thinking, why are you torturing yourself, Trevor? Come on, it's just 1 cup. Have 1 cup. Those were my thoughts. I was feeling rather sad at the moment, but walking away feeling proud at the same time for sticking to my plan. Midway through day 3, the fog lifted later afternoon, and coffee has been conquered in week 2. So thank you. Keep down the applause, but pretty proud of that. One major habit to get rid of or let go of is alcohol. Before we get to how things went with alcohol, the next one came as a shock too. Challenge number 3, boredom and intense feelings like I've never felt in a long time. When left with no distractions to occupy my mind, things get real really fast. This one thing was really hard, and the only other time in my life I felt these intense in my head type of feelings and boredom was working in the far north. Alone with your thoughts and emotions is a huge mental challenge at the best of times. So, leaning on healthy distractions like walking, reading, working on YouTube, socializing, working at my day job, and using my meditation app helped a lot, actually. But if you're anything like me and live a lot of the time in your head, my partner always says to me, get out of your head and into the world. It's true, right? It's hard to do that, though. It makes doing a dopamine detox way more challenging. Most addictions come from seeking comfort and avoiding discomfort at all costs. So when you're bored and being in your head, that's really uncomfortable, which is a trigger to reach for those quick fix dopamine addictions, like grabbing a glass of wine, binge watching TV without even thinking about it. But anyways, I'm getting really deep here. Can I ask a favor? If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment, especially the comment, telling me what type of diabetes topics you want to know about. This really helps YouTube promote my content to other people and helps me focus on what to create for you guys to watch, things you find valuable. Challenge number 4, here I am standing in my kitchen after a hard day of work. I stroll over to the fridge, I open it up, you can picture that, peering into it, and I ask myself, oh, you deserve a nice glass of wine. Already starting to feel excited, calm, and relaxed, even at the thought. Pour myself a glass, start making dinner, bring it up to my nose, take a sip, tell myself, you deserve it. It's been a tough week. How many of you guys have been there? If you don't drink, then you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But any addiction, giving up alcohol is the final dopamine spiking habit to detox from to get the full benefit. And one of the biggest challenges yet. I did have 3 small glasses. Like, I don't mean, everybody has their own idea what a small glass is, but it's 6 ounces, literally, last week. Much improved. But a detox is a detox. You'll have to tune in to the next video, video number 3, to find out if I give up that final dopamine-inducing drug, alcohol. So 3 reflections keeping me strong and action things you can do are, number 1, making a commitment to others. Okay, giving up everything all at once was a stupid idea in hindsight. Wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But sharing this mini science project with others like my coworkers that I work with, close friends, and especially you watching on YouTube has really given me strength and motivation to push through the headaches, the struggles, the sleepless nights that I mentioned of giving up things that bring quick satisfaction. So an action thing that you can do is tell others, if you're willing to do this kind of experiment. Tell others and pick one person close to you to share it with. It kind of helps to hold you accountable. For me, it's been my daughter and one of my work friends who I've noticed have reduced some of their habits in support, which is nice to see. And remember, me and my detox plan and keep me on track. So my plan is literally written on the kitchen chalkboard in my family kitchen for my entire family to see every Sunday during dinner. It's a reminder of doing it for not just myself. Number 2, journaling. Reflecting on the before and after has been key, not only to keep going and stay on the detox, but a daily reminder that I'm feeling way better with each passing day, with some minor hiccups I've already mentioned. But this is a front and center reminder that I want to keep going, to feel even better. Let me know in the comments if you've joined me on this crazy detox adventure or have done something similar in the past. So an action you can take is journal once a day and don't overthink it. Start with 3 things you're grateful for before bed, before you drift off to sleep. It helps set the mind in a positive way. If doing your own detox or giving up something, reflect on mood, energy level, mental clarity, and motivation. Now, the surprising epiphany or light bulb moment over this thing, number 3, is this self-trust that I'm developing. This experience has sucked in many ways, but it's becoming a blessing. Even slipping up and not detoxing completely, it's given me the ability to look at my addictions or the way I spend my time without thinking. And this has helped me moderate those addictions and make better choices. I made a commitment to others, and most importantly to myself, to do this. And each thing I give up during this detox builds self-trust and a belief in myself I didn't know existed. I'm starting to feel that I'm in control of my habits and that my addictions have far less control over me. So an action you can take is write down everything you spend time on in a day or a week or both. You'd be surprised where your minutes go every time without thinking about it. And ask yourself, do these serve me and my life long term? And then set some goals for yourself. Don't give up everything like I did. That's just crazy. Make a plan, write it down, tell someone else and give it a try. Each day you achieve your goal, like me cutting out coffee step by step, you will start to trust yourself to do more. As promised, my blood sugar result at the end of week 2 and halfway through the dopamine detox. Pretty consistent. Blood sugar average 6.7, so it did go up a little bit, and time in range 94%. Pretty consistent results, going from an average of 7.2 to 6.7 in the 2 weeks, and going from 88% time in range to 94% time in range in 2 weeks. So check out the first video here, and please subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss the next one.